All right, Marty, you ready to get into this, man?
Let's do it.
Man, I threw a title down there, in the shadow of Dios, and that's taken a little bit of the title of in the shadow of Vesuvio. So shout out to Michele and Henry. I love their pod. I know they recorded one this week, and I can't wait to listen to it. So I guess I'm stealing from you guys a little bit. I hope you don't mind. Um, so yeah, let's get into Mario. So we talked a little bit about this in our last episode. It was
Mhm.
just brought up by you, if I remember right.
Yeah, just out of the
And
blue.
I think yeah, and I think we disagreed a little bit about it. So let's just talk about what you think and what I think, and let's just go from there. Right. So for me, in order for Osimhen and or Cavada to actually try to be as impactful for the city as Maradona has been for really more than one generation now, because it's been long enough to where you can pretty much cross over from one generation to the other. I
Yeah.
think that they've got to do just a ton to be able to actually get to his level, not only sort of surpass him, or make people start forgetting about him, like you were saying, being less important for the city. Because look at it this way, man. Maradona, when he came to Napoli, he came from a huge club in Barcelona. Napoli was on the verge of being relegated, and there was a huge divide. I mean, there really is a divide now, but I think it was a little bit worse back then, between the north and the south of Italy. And Maradona was doing what he did on purpose to try to, like, sort of stick it to the people that were not supporting the south of Italy. That was part of the reason that he decided he wanted to do something super special for, southern Italy and Napoli in general as a city, right? So I mean, for me, I think it would have to be something astronomical. Like, I think they would have to win a Champions League. I think they would have to win multiple Scudetti, and I think that they would need to do most of the prime of their career. I'm talking about Osimhen and Cavada. Like, it can just be one of them, but they could both be here, and they could both have that much of an impact if they stayed here that long. It is possible, but I think that it's going to take something like that: Champions League, multiple Scudetti, and actually staying here for several more years.
Okay. Well, I mean, we definitely agree that they need to stay some more years and accomplish certain goals. Maradona having two Scudetti with us should have been three, but we know the scandalous story behind that. And also the Europa League. You know, we have that too. That's a European title, which Cavada and Osimhen have not been able to get yet. But I'm telling you, man, if Cavada and Osimhen they stay, let's just say 3 more years, they're gonna accomplish these certain goals that you're talking about. Two Scudetti is possible, even three. Like this Napoli team is just that good. Um, and yeah, Maradona's team probably wasn't as good. The situation is a lot more memorable for people because of how they were so down low and they got brought up top because of one player. Um, but he still had good players around him. You know, we can't forget that. Obviously, I'm not an old head, right? I'm not too familiar with them, but I watch highlights. I watch a couple games every now and then. Like I know who he is. I know Maradona is one of the top players the world's ever seen. However, we can't act like players don't come up and become goats themselves. Yeah, sure, Cavada only one season in with us, and we're already talking about Cavada Dona. That is a bit ridiculous, but it's not that crazy because we know his talent is above and beyond natural. It's supernatural. This kid is an
Yeah.
alien, right? His first season in the top five league, doing what he's doing, it's unheard of, and he's very young as well. 22 years old. He just had his birthday. Very young. Osimhen, on the other hand, we can get into him too. A little bit different for him because he's a number nine, right? He just scores goals. He doesn't do it all like Cavada per se or Maradona per se,
Mm. Yeah.
but he can still be considered a goat. Really good. CR7 is a nine. He's considered one of the goats. Yeah, he does assist a lot more than Osimhen. He does that a lot more often, but he's a number 9 regardless, right? So it's not just a winger that can become such a relevant name. Because we've seen, Ronaldinho, Neymar, all these wingers, come up. They are the more favorable fashionista player that people tend to lean towards when it comes to like calling people goats. But getting back into Kvara and Osimhen, what they need to do, if they both did it, cool. But even if one of them just got 2 Scudetti, maybe even 3, 3 would definitely for me seal it pretty good. And then and a UCL final, that would definitely do it. Like for me, like not saying that they're better than Maradona. I'm just saying for what they did for us. Like how are you going to take away a UCL final and an extra Scudetto? Yes, Maradona helped our situation. It's a lot more memorable. Like I said earlier, a lot more nostalgic reasoning behind it. I understand. He's a GOAT. But for Napoli, you have to remember, like, we are not used to getting championships. We haven't had one in 33 years. And for them to get one and then another and another, we'll get spoiled. And that's what Maradona did do for us. But he wasn't doing no Champions League final shit that we're doing now. We have a much more complete team in all fairness, right? So that also comes into play. And also a head coach who tactically knows his stuff. He's very experienced in the game. But yeah, like obviously there's tons of factors. But to say that these players won't be as important as Maradona, to me it's a little crazy because I don't think you understand how Napoli's heart works. They get attached to anything and anybody real quick. Look at Lavezzi. They consider him a top 5 Napoli player ever. And what did he really do for us that other players have done? Like it's just about passion too. And we know Kvara and Osimhen both provide that. And my last point where people don't really like to get into, it's them as a person, as a human. Maradona was not the best person. He wasn't. I understand he wasn't put around the best environment, but dude, control yourself, man. Everyone has discipline. You just gotta find it. Kvara, I don't know him too much, but Osimhen is a fucking outstanding dude. Outstanding dude. And for the talent that he has to not display any cockiness or arrogance is so rare these days, I'm saying none. Like this dude has none. 0%. We've seen him in person. We've seen him on live TV. We've seen him on the pitch. We've seen him everywhere. He acts the same. He is real. He is real. Kvara, he seems cool as hell too. You know what I mean? A little bit more timid, right? A little bit more timid. But just give him some time. Let him get more and more comfortable with us. But yeah, I have nothing left to say. I mean, Maradona, to me, he's the GOAT. Let's not put that away. He's the GOAT. But for Napoli, the level of importance, if we manage to get these trophies at this speed, I don't see how you can not say that we'll have freaking Kvara murals and Osimhen murals at the same location over there, right? Like near it. Obviously, they're not going to freaking paint over his and do all that kind of shit. No, but they might have their own thing going too. Don't sleep on it. I'm just saying. They're already putting up statues and other paintings elsewhere. It's growing slowly. It's going to happen.
Did you see just now they put up another Maradona mural?
Oh, really?
In Napoli somewhere? Yeah, it looks really nice.
And that's the thing too. They're always going to include Maradona with our success because rest in peace to his soul. Like, he's gone.
Yeah.
So that also concludes why he's slowly going to be forgotten. Sadly, right? Sadly, people who die will be forgotten slowly but surely. That's just how the world works. And this next generation is going to start participating in loving Kvara and Osimhen more. I mean, that's how it works. Like, look at LeBron and Jordan. Me, I think Jordan's better. But you can't ignore the fact that this upcoming generation thinks LeBron is better. Like the debate went from here, and LeBron slowly but surely, right? I'm just using an example. But you can't say that I hate old head players. I'm a new generation person. No, because I love Jordan, and I know that Jordan is a better player in my personal opinion. But there's people that think this kind of stuff,
Yeah, I know that. I mean, you're right about that. And there was a good amount of people that thought Kobe, could be considered better than Jordan too. So
and people still consider him better
that.
than Jordan right now. Rest in peace to his soul as well.
Yeah. I mean, for me, man, I think that your point about the generation part, the fact that, you know, your generation hasn't really been able to experience Maradona like my generation. So now most people out there know I didn't start
Yeah.
watching Napoli until like 2006 or so. So I didn't even really know who Maradona was until I started watching. And then I've seen clips in here and clips there. And I've seen all the things around the city and I've heard stories and all that. And I've probably heard that a little bit more than you have.
Yeah.
So I just have an opinion where it's possible, but I just think it's going to take a little bit more than what you're saying. I think they actually have to win a UCL trophy. Like that trophy has to be in Napoli's trophy case before we can consider
Just
the
thinking that is
importance
crazy.
of, oh, it is crazy, but it's possible, right?
Yeah, very,
Like
very,
it is
very
possible
possible.
not only this year, but it is possible for them to be fighting for a UCL trophy for the next few years if those two players stay. It
Dynasty.
really is. And
Yeah.
like you were saying a little bit about Maradona and when Napoli was doing their thing, they weren't really a European powerhouse. They won
Right.
a UEFA Cup, but the UEFA Cup is nowhere near the importance
But in all
of a
fairness,
Champions League.
back then, it was considered one of the most uh,
It was.
valued
It was more
trophies
prestigious.
because how
Yeah,
the
yeah. It
teams were
was.
set up. You know how they
Yeah,
were set
yeah,
up. Third and
yeah,
fourth were in the Europa League, and then first and
yeah,
second were in UCL. So there were still dominant teams
yeah,
in there. Just
yeah.
saying.
For sure. It was definitely more prestigious then.
That's why I include his
Um.
Europa League because it wasn't against bumps.
Yeah. And I think you might have touched a little bit on like style maybe when you're talking about Ronaldo and stuff. The other thing you got to remember about Diego is that dude had some style too, right? Like
Right,
he was super
dribbling all over the
stylish. He was
place, assisting.
yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't
I
even
mean, and
his
just
main thing
like
wasn't even goal scoring. It was everything else.
well, I mean,
For
just
real.
as a person too, like he was flamboyant and
Mm.
his flamboyance really didn't
Yeah,
do the
he stood
best
out
things
more
for
as
him. He
a
made
he stood out more as like a star, as like a rock star. But Osimhen does that too with his clothing. You see what he posts on like Twitter and Instagram.
oh,
Don't think he's
oh,
not a fashionista himself. You know what I mean?
oh, oh,
He's
Victor
not
got
as outgoing about it as Maradona was. Like
yeah.
Maradona had like a strut to it. Victor just he does his thing. You feel me?
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, man. Victor got some style. You
yeah.
know, Kvata's just a homeboy, man. Kvata just be walking around in a hoodie, don't he?
Did you see that with his girlfriend?
Yeah, man. But he just chilling, man. He don't want
He
no
is just chilling.
attention really. But
He's a
man, you
real
were
soccer
mentioning
player, man. He's just all about the game.
yeah, you were mentioning something about his character and stuff, and I mean, dude, both of them dudes, they're so hungry.
Yes.
I mean, the
Young and hungry.
hunger.
What a combo.
I'm
Young,
like
hungry,
since I've
and
been
disciplined.
I'm trying to think of like players that have shown as much hunger as them since I've been watching. I think Cavani and Lavezzi
Lavezzi.
are
Mm-hmm.
the only two that I can think of that are on that level. And I think both
Hamsik
Cavada,
had a good couple of years where he looked hungry as hell too, when he was scoring crazy goals. I'll never forget that either.
yeah, yeah, he did have his moments, man, but
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was just the way that he carried himself
Yeah, he was a lot
on
more
the
of
pitch.
a subtle player, but he had like some years where
Yeah,
he was aggressive, man. He was a goal
yeah,
scorer, not a
yeah, for
professional or
sure.
not a normal per se midfielder. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, it's something we can talk about some more, especially when we get into the end of the season and see how we do in Champions League. And,
Yeah, I mean,
you
this all
know,
relies on like what results they're gonna be able to like grab. Like we're just hypothetically talking here. Like let's say they only get one or two Scudetti. No, they're not gonna be considered Maradona-esque. No, like for
and
Napoli fans
then
at least.
maybe what we can do is bring in somebody as a guest, like an actual somebody that lives in the city. They've grown up and they've been there their whole life, and find somebody that might be able to come on and just talk from that perspective too, because, you know,
And then we need to
you're
find someone
born
else who's a
there.
bit younger, who also like
No, no,
same age
yeah,
as me, who also
yeah,
lives
yeah,
there. I mean, I've lived
yeah,
there for
yeah, no
most of my
doubt.
life, but still, we need a current person
Yeah,
over there.
yeah, you're
How things
right.
are looking.
No, no, for sure, man. And
Let's invite
you're
Swart.
absolutely right. I mean, you're absolutely right that people are excited for sure. And
Right.
I mean, it's not. every day where you've got people selling masks and people making cakes,
Crazy, man.
and all these flags that are going up throughout the city and in the stadium of Osimhen and Cavada. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this right now. No doubt, 100%. If they win the Scudetto, what did I just say? If? Holy shit! I just said if. When
When
they win the
talking about next
Scudetto,
season, right?
I said if. When they win the Scudetto, I think that Osimhen and Cavada have definitely surpassed anybody else in the ADL era
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yes, like
And
Cavani,
and
Hamsik,
but
Lavezzi. Yes, yes, yes.
but
Sadly.
honestly, like you're talking about some of the old heads, and I wouldn't really call them old heads if they're like in the generation of watching the ADL era, but they definitely. I mean, you see it up here, right? I got all three of them up there, man. I
Yep.
love them dudes, and
Who's that guy on the
and
far right?
it's oh no, he's supposed to be hidden.
Is
My
that
bad.
is
Hold
that
on.
Kobe?
There we go. No,
Kobe.
no, hold on. That's better. No, that's better. Hold on. It's hidden. Dude, I still respect Insigne, man.
Yeah, I
Insigne
know. It's
has
just
been
funny.
extremely important for our club. He helped us win, a trophy or two, like not very meaningful trophies, but dude, Insigne has been important. So I still respect him. It's
Yep.
just for me, the
As a person,
impact
though, I don't
that
respect that motherfucker at all.
oh
Hell
no,
no.
no, no, no.
Blech.
Oh no. Yeah, we know how he is as a person, but those three players up there that you can see, and then the three on the bottom, for me, when it comes to loving the shirt and really, really wanting to actually be intimate with fans, there they are, man. Look at that. Yeah, all six of them.
Yep.
Dude, oh man, yeah. But so yeah, we'll talk about it in at least another show and maybe bring a guest on or whatever. And I do see your points and I understand them. I
I'm just
just
saying, don't count it out. That's all.
all right. So that'll do it for that segment and this episode in general. So Napoli Nation, we will be back next week to preview the next games coming up. And if there's anything else going on out there in Napoli Nation, we'll definitely talk about that also. But until then, Forza
Napoli, sempre.
sempre. Ciao.